Howdy there, friends. So a few days ago, I put up a video about how you need 567,000 streams a month, every month, to simply make minimum wage. That was federal U.S. minimum wage, which is $7.25 an hour. And it was based on Spotify, yes. So Spotify was used as the barometer. Those numbers came from the podcast. The rest is entertainment, which you can find online in all the different formats. So let's talk about this for a second, because 75% of the comments were positive, 20% were negative or defensive, and 5% I can't even describe. So what's going on here? Okay, so the problem is, and you can take this from someone who's been in the business, in the music business, for over 32 years. I've seen a lot. A lot of us have seen a lot. What does it mean? How are these numbers possible? The numbers are possible because we're fodder. We are fodder. Yes, Spotify and other streaming services provide democratization, right? That's the big argument. Democratization, awesome. I'm all for democratization. Yay, up democratization. The problem with that is when I started, there were 2,500 albums a week being released. 2,500 albums a week. Now there's 250,000 albums a week. So you add democratization in there and it's just numbers like flowing and being piled on. So yes, democratization is good, but the competition goes way up, and then everybody is fighting for numbers. Everybody thinks the end goal is numbers. They always have thought that in the music business, but now more than ever. We've seen this before. It's just exponentially worse because of democratization. Now, again, I'm not saying democratization is bad, but if the competition was already horrendous and difficult and a struggle, imagine what it's like now. So then all of that competition just wants numbers, man. I just want my streaming numbers up. I got to get my streaming. Because especially if you're a young act, a new act, you're not selling, right? So you got to get those streaming numbers up. All you're doing is throwing stuff out there into the sea of democratization, into the sea of competition, and you're going to get frustrated. It's impossible. So how do you rise above that? That has always been the challenge of the music business. And in the past, people have mostly thrown money at it. And maybe that worked when there were 2,500 albums a week coming out. I can tell you from my career that when the record label was promoting my album, it was in the top 20 on the charts, and I had a single in the top 40, and for a few months, maybe even 6 months, things were grand, and I was touring, and we were getting paid, and as soon as they stopped promoting, whoosh, whoosh, the numbers went down. That's been the truth ad infinitum. But now, because the numbers are greater, I think we're just cannon fodder, because we're allowing more numbers to go out there, and those numbers start to accumulate, not for us personally, not for each artist individually, but for Spotify and other streaming entities as a whole. And what does this do? It makes billionaires billionairer. You know what I mean? Like, they're the ones collecting the money. And then not only was the percentage they were paying us from the beginning tiny, like 0.0003 tenths of a penny per stream, but then they changed the game about, what was it, a year ago or so, and said, oh, well, we're not even going to count you if you don't get 1,000 streams per month. Yeah. Okay, so you see where I'm going with this? So numbers are fine, and yes, it's frustrating, but the goal always is quality, and the goal always is to sell. But unfortunately, the music business just got on that gerbil wheel and goes around and followed streaming down the hole because they were like, well, if we get this much of the pie, it's better than nothing. Yeah, but you gave away the pie. That's the point. So we need to get back to selling merch, selling media, a new format. If vinyl is selling a little bit still. CDs have come back. Downloads are selling horribly. They're less than 10% of the business. So we need new media. We need a new platform to sell. And if streaming's going to be around, they need to pay us more fairly. Or better yet, let's find a new platform to represent our music and to increase democratization, but at least pay us a little bit more. That was the point of my video. It was not to discourage you. It was not to frustrate you. It was not to get you to quit. It was not to create angst. It was not to create angst. It was to just wake people up and say, look, we're not making other people rich anymore. We need a fair living wage and we deserve it. And if your music is that great, people will recognize it. So don't get frustrated. Don't quit. Don't be angry. Just keep working hard. Keep working hard. That's always been the key. If you're good, people will notice it. Unfortunately, there's just a ton of people trying to be good now, more than ever. We just need to figure out how to force them to pay us more fairly. I'm not saying we all have to get rich. It just has to be fair. Fairness. That's all I wanted out of this. And for people to stop reaching for numbers that only make people behind the scenes billionaires while we starve.